Kosi, residing judge Usman Feka. So as it stands, Adura was first discharged from whatever indictment on grounds that the LDCC did indict him along with the Tema Corporation, at which time, according to he and his legal counsels, he was now serving as a head of Tema Corporations, so there were no need that the indictment cover him. So it was on the different grounds that the court saw the need during the March term. Judge Joe S. Bacont saw the need to quit him, and that matter went before Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ordered that they quit him and having certificated. So he was being declared a freed person from the entire economic sabotage and other crimes charges leveraged against he and others from the LTA. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Kane, as you can see. So the vehicle is being parked. As you can see, he will be taken at the Komobufra Central Prison for imprisonment. So thank you. Thanks for joining Spoon TV. My name is Melvin Jackson. I'm here at the Temple of Justice and right in front of the criminal Kosi.
Their businesses, you can get first shift, second shift. Now, water supply has increased. It's been a long time since I saw muscle men toting containers climbing the Johnson Street Hill. Maybe whether you saw them or let they tell me, that site, I remember that site. It's been a long time since I saw people with containers at gas stations, because price of gasoline has been down and supply has been stable. There's been no shortage in almost 2 years. The price of rice down, stable. I was out of the country. One site that I remember it vividly, is a site of our women, our mothers. Site
that happened this administration?
No. You're talking about the past. Okay. You just opposing the past and the present. Okay. One site that I cannot forget. Mothers climbing fences, I think Valtown or what have you, to go and try to, not to go and beg for rice. They were looking for rice to go and sell. Now, for almost 2 years, that has not happened. Stable supply, price is low. If someone does not recognize that progress, then their definition of progress is warped. Civil servants. By and large, we've said, we pay civil servants on time. And more often than not, except there are challenges with the banks crediting some accounts. But see what is happening. We have normalized payment of civil servants such that even if there is 1 day delay, I like the angle that comes. Pay has delayed. When you talk about month and sometimes more than that, people are not complaining. When you have put excellent standards, people will hold you to excellence. Some of us and some folks here, when you say that you are an A student, sometimes when the test is tough, when you score B or C plus, you will be complaining. If people listen to your complaint, they will be confused, because in the same test, people are scoring F's and D's. When an A student who will score 79 will be angry. So some of the anger that we show ourselves, it's not that we fail, it's because we're holding ourselves to high standards. The person is holding all of us to high standards. So, by and large, we could go on many other indicators of progress. I just tell you this. talk about civil servants.
Yeah, I want to ask about the currency of civil servant salaries.
Yeah, it's current. It's current. We pay largely on time. We in July we paid around the 15 or I think around the 15. Before the 18th, before the 20th, we have paid almost everybody. We have paid everybody. August, we pay on time. There were 1 or 2 challenges with banks crediting, and that's why we solved it. Now, we are digitizing the economy. The central bank, we're working with them, introducing the payment switch, and that will make, if that will...
Agreement with the vice president, and you lost the vice president complaint to his boss. Where are we right now with your disagreement?
I cannot comment on that specific, on grounds that I remain where I am.
Where you are?
Where are you?
Where are you?
I'm
currently?
standing the way I'm standing.
Where are you?
I am somewhere going by Kuga, the senator of Nima County.
In terms of
There where I
politics,
am.
in terms of politics, where are you?
I'm a member of the NDR.
Are you of the Unity
Executive
Party?
member of the party.
Are you of the Unity Party?
When you say you will,
You support the
you
Unity
support
Party?
the Unity Party.
Were you still supporting them?
Of course, until they reach a certain decision, they will realize that the reason for which we supported them is not forthcoming. We can back off.
Was your support at the level of the unit of the NDR, was it legal? I heard you talking about it was not a legal one. Why are you trying to...
No. When I was talking about legality, a legal framework has to do with documentation that is carved. Memorandum on understanding by and between a group to ensure that they become one body politic. That was not done.
So what were you hold the Unity Party or the rescue mission by? Since there were no documents.
Oh. And I get me a friendship. I say I found a woman, I say I like the woman. The woman must have friendly. If I find out that the woman, the friendship that the kind of a friendship I need for her, I'm not seeing it, I will go and just eat it free. No money.
Yeah, speculation that the country, the city and using the country social development fund to carry on development in Senegal and comparing the nation.
The issue, this is a very, very, very critical issue. You listen, it says social corporate fundings, social development. The money that is meant to be provided by ArcelorMittal as a look exclusively for Nima County. Nima people should be able to meet and discuss what will be done with the money. Because that mountain will be depleted. Number one, Nima people should sit together and discuss that, oh Lord, we need to acquire so many acres. You don't need this one, depending on the situation. To reduce the burden in terms of housing facility. You build real estates. People who work in Ganta, people that are signed, people that are in Loguatu, when the real estates are built with the county social fund, they will be paying rent to the county. And the county will intend deposit the money in the bank. And that money, there are women and men that are doing businesses in the county. They are citizens of the county. To improve and turn the money around, you loan them. You get them money to loan them so that they will do business to improve. What are you doing? You are the society is being developed, infrastructure. You could look at the student communities and say, well, we're looking at 2 to 3 students in each district for further study. Scholarship is meant for scholar, and it's a full waiver, meaning they will pay your rent, they will give you stipend every month. You understand? And they will pay your school fees, that's what they call scholarship. Once that is done, there must be tripartite agreement that when the student return, if you improve in the health sector, you must go to G.A. Derry Harley Hospital to work and serve the Nima people, because that is the reason why we send you. You must go to Ganta Metal, for example. You understand? These are kind of things. Now, the people talk about today, the government came out with an executive order in the rubber industry. They say no unprocessed rubber should be exiting the country, right? The country could engage based on negotiation. So companies, Chinese or whosoever company, The local, for example, you say, okay, well, we're looking at Bee Valley or we're looking at Sikefa. We're paying a flag to process rubber. Saying indeed, they're saying our farmer, before they carry rubber, it should be processed. That processing machine will be built in our area, and those that will be selling the farmer right near there will be selling the rubber right to that processing area, and then the process
Efficiency of the entire economy.
The former LCC chairperson, for those of you just joining up, was rearrested this morning and brought before the court. So the state, and in line with the LCC, already prepared the indictment. They also prepared. So he's been taken at the Marufa Central Prison. This so he's being escorted by court officers to the Marufa Central Prison. As you can see, this government pickup bearing plate number 3521 is the one taking him to the central prison along with court and officers. So the former LCC chairperson, for the record, has been taking aching at the central prison following his rearrest this morning by police officers and court staff. Thanks so kind for joining Spoon TV. My name is where the case involving.
We're talking about the price of rice down, stable. I was out of the country. One site that I remember it vividly, was is a site of our women, our mothers. Site.
That happened in this administration?
No. You're talking about the past. If you just opposing the past and the present.
Okay.
One site that I cannot forget. Mothers climbing fences, I think Valtown or what have you, to go and try to, not to go and beg for rice. They were looking for rice to go and sell. Now, for almost 2 years, that has not happened. Stable supply, price is low. If someone does not recognize that progress, then their definition of progress is warped. Civil servants. By and large, we've said we pay civil servants on time. And more often than not, except there are challenges in it with the banks crediting some accounts. But see what is happening. We have normalized payment of civil servants such that even if there is 1 day delay, I like the anger that comes. Pay has delayed. When you talk about month and sometimes more than that, people are not complaining. You know, when you have put excellent standards, people will hold you to excellence. You know, some of us and some folks here, when you say that you're an A student, sometimes when the test is tough, when you score B or C plus, you will be complaining. If people listen to your complaint, they will be confused because in the same test, people are scoring F's and D's. When an A student who will score 79 will be angry. So some of the anger that we show ourselves, it's not that we fail, it's because we're holding ourselves to high standards. The person is holding all of us to high standards. So, by and large, we could go on many other indicators of progress. I just tell you this. Talk about civil servants.
Yeah, I want to ask about the currency of civil servant salaries.
It's current. It's current. We pay largely on time. We in July we paid around the 15 or I think around the 15. Before the 18th, before the 20th, we have paid almost everybody. August, we pay on time. There were 1 or 2 challenges with banks crediting, and that's why we solved it. Now, we are digitizing the economy. The central bank, we're working with them, introducing the payment switch, and that will improve the efficiency of the entire economy.
After the Robert for exportation.
Is the 1.5 million being used properly in Nima?
Well, the only thing that we can do is we will call for audit.
How will you do that?
No, well, it is my fiduciary, any citizen, it is our fiduciary responsibility as a lawmaker
What is
that we ask based on your question.
Honorable Senator, one of your colleagues
I want
accused
to
the
learn.
superintendent of.
I want to learn.
Okay, no problem.
We will sanction an audit for the period of time the current superintendent has been seated for. For GAC to audit, to tell us the money that they received, what are the activities they've been engaged.
Are there any suspicions?
Not a matter of suspicion.
Somewhere
It's
is
a
there
matter
more?
of expediency.
Sounds like you saw one of your colleagues that accused the superintendent of being
How much
involved
is
with.
that money?
No,
Some bad
the
practice.
money currently, the legislature doesn't have exclusive oversight over the money. So the issue of utilization, we will use our oversight. And the easier way to get access to the information is to sanction audit or something. To sanction an audit.
Have the power to carry on renovation.
Senator, as we observe in the country now, the most powerful person in the country now has become the superintendent for every activities. Nima Legislative Caucus have never been represented, but the superintendent serves as the most powerful person now in the country.
Well, the issue of power can be used properly and power can be misused. So you can be most powerful person, like for instance, being the war, you have notorious generals who look at who the boss your head, see that man like general. When you come here, everybody run away. Ain't powerful? Eh? And they got powerful leader who also doesn't listen to other authority and feels that whatsoever they do is what they should do. But people who also had the authority to inquire, some of the means could be an audit. The sanction audit and tell GSU one, the time the Unity Party-led government took over, one an audit, they will give it.
Senator Koga, finally from my end, did you listen to Representative Musa Hassan Belede referring to the Nima County Legislative Caucus as dormant? What is your take on that?
Well, you know, in speaking the content and the intent of the conversation with this woman.
How effective is the caucus?
I come in. The Nima Legislative Caucus, as a body, have reputable people that are highly respected and that were duly elected by the people. But the formation of the caucus for now, it looks or appears ridiculous on grounds that their president, Senator Johnson, was senator in the county. When Adolfo Dolo ventured to take the chairmanship from Adolfo Dolo, the citizen, I say the caucus, the citizen said, no, Adolfo, you got to get a position by the Senator Johnson. When Thomas Grupi came, he took the position. The Nima citizen also said, no, you should get a position.
What does
Well,
this mean?
no, that coming now. I'm in speech. Let me look at two senators. You refer to them as a member of the caucus. You had a chairman representative. You had a co-chairman representative. You had a secretary general representative. What is the role of the senator of the
But
country?
then you were not a senator anyway.
But our representative.
Yeah.
So because I was going to election, what is this?
So you agree with Musa Belede that the caucus is dormant?
Then what is your dominancy? What I said that
They're not
it will
requesting the student to complete report. No one is asking.
no, many people have been doing that, so you can't say that.
Thank
And
you.
I'm asking you today
So is
that
the
there must
caucus
be an
effective?
audit.
Are you doing your oversight, playing your oversight role, checking on
But
the
these
county
are some of my
administration?
oversight. Don't come here and donate. That my after a representation,
Yeah.
I have come to represent my people.
Thank you.
You understand? But the oversight responsibility is where we are saying that the period of time that this Unity Party-led government seated in the county, we need an audit to get a full fledged. It is our responsibility as a legislature.
But how do you see the superintendent work in the country
In terms of what?
in terms of infrastructure?
Development.
The infrastructure, if you go to all the government facilities, they are building them with fabulous design. But the money was not intended for that.
Okay.
The money was intended to improve the livelihood. This compound was built by who? And a government?
Yes.
Who's all the renovate?
It's government.
Huh?
Government.
Government. Nimbayans all the build, they pay immigration all the guard their gate. It is our responsibility to use our money to build gates.
But Nima is using the money.
Now what I'm the question I'm asking you to.
Thank you.
That the governments ought to provide funds. Get there, we'll be selling the rubber right to that processing area, and then the process people will process the rubber for exportation.
Is the 1.5 million being used properly in Nima?
Well, the only thing that we can do.
George Usman Fekar. So as it stands, Adura was first discharged from whatever indictment on crimes that the LCC did indicted him along with the Tema Corporation, at which time, according to he and his legal counsels, he was not serving as a head of Tema Corporations, so there were no need that the indictment covered him. So it was on the different grounds that the court saw the need during the March term, Judge Joe S. Bacont saw the need to quit him, and that matter went before Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ordered that they quit him and having certificated. So he was being declared a freed person from the entire economic sabotage and other crimes charges leveraged against he and others from the LTA. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Kane, as you can see. So the vehicle is being parked. As you can see, he will be taken at the Komobufra Central Prison for imprisonment. So thank you. Thanks for joining Spoon TV. My name is Melvin Jackson. I'm here at the Temple of Justice and right in front of the...
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Liberia. Today is 09092025. Today is Tuesday, and a pleasant welcome to one of our followers today. You're following us on Cool Channel 2 on YouTube. So good afternoon to you. If you're live with us on Facebook, just go there to search handle and just tap in Cool. You will be live with us. And today, don't forget, the geometry of the whole must be kept high on the agenda because it involves the majority. And those that come with equity must come with clean hands. As usual today, I am your humble servant on to this edition of the program, The Heat. This is the People's Program. I am J. Nathaniel Beaver Senior today. Just calling the ambassador. The fight against illicit substance in this country will never be bent. We will not bow down. We will make sure to rescue our sons and daughters. And those punitive measures to those who are manufacturers, are importers, are trading drugs in our country be brought to book. Let me say welcome to all of you on this edition of the program. Good afternoon.
Yes, you're talking about yesterday and today. At least we know when you talk about month and sometimes more than that, the people are not complaining. You know, when you have put excellent standards, people will hold you to excellence. You know, some of us.
Coming on today, I'm here with Sakandu from the production department, making our production spectacular. One, you can go there on Facebook, Cool, and the search handle. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and thanks to all of you on our watch on today. There are several breaking news in Liberia. But first, to remind you, today's in history is a regular feature on our programs. Today is the 9th of September. You were aware, September 9, 1989, 1990, 1992, 1996, Liberia were in a state of turmoil. But let me say today, Liberia were in the final preparations for the upcoming elections in September 9, 2011. With the election commissions, the NEC releasing the final list of presidential candidates and the public focusing on the importance of the polls for the nation's post-war recovery. Discussions also centered on the recent constitutional referendum that proposed changes to the election system and residency requirement for candidates, highlighting the upcoming elections as a critical test of the country's democratic institution. On today, September 9, good afternoon, in 2004 in Liberia. Let me say welcome to all of you on today, September 9 in 2004. The United Nations process was actually up for grabs. Let me say today, September 9th, in 1994, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOMOG, smashed an abortive coup attempt by Charles Julu, a former chief of staff within the Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, who opposed the United Nations Back Peace Treaty signed just days before. This treaty, which would have divided power between the National Patriotic Party, the National Patriotic Front of Liberia, the NPFL, and the AFL, faced protests in Monrovia, with residents concerned about their authority being handed back to the warring factions. Upon the event of September 1994 occurred amidst the ongoing First Liberian Civil War in Liberia. Today, the history is a regular feature on our program. So break your history onto a day-to-day basis. On today, the death of Mao. The Marxist revolution of Mao Zedong, who died this day in 1976, emerged as the undisputed Chinese Communist Party leader following a long march from 1934 to 1935 and dominated China in the period after the communists took over, or the takeover, in 1949. On today, 2015, September 9th, Elizabeth II became the longest reigning monarch into British history, surpassing Victoria's records, reigned from 63 years and 216 days. In 1999, the Special Prosecutor Kenneth W. Starr sent to Congress the report on his investigation in the actions of the U.S. President Bill Clinton in Whitewater defense and subsequent matters, including Clinton's improper sexual relationship with intern Monica Lewinsky. And today, 1990, September 9, the American tennis player Pete Sampras defeated Andre Agassi at the U.S. Open to capture his first of the 14 Grand Slam singles titles upon. Today, 1966, the American comedian and actor Adam Sandler, who was known for his portrait of infinite but endearing character, was born on today. 1956, rock and roll star Elvis Presley made his first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show on today in 1956, September 9. On today's history, the Democratic People Republic of Korea, North Korea, was proclaimed, setting the stage for the Korean War upon. The Boston police strike reform began after the city denied the police right to unionize. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening on today. Many thanks to all of you, as a matter of fact, joining us on this edition. Remember, you can also play star 799 star 11 hatch. The dashboard is already open. Star 799 star 11 hatch. Star 799 star 11 hatch. Star 799 Entertainment by Radio and cool cash giveaway, giving away $4,000 Liberian dollars to any of you who will play, and just $100 Liberian dollars to play, and you have the chance to win $4,000 Liberian dollars. $4,000 Liberian dollars. So just go to your phone. $4,000 to play, $4,000 up for grabs, $100 Liberian to play. Just go there, star 799 star 11 hatch. Entertainment by Radio, cool cash giveaway, and there are several packages in store here at this station. As soon as we get the go ahead, somebody will win motorbikes, cell phones, bear park. But now $4,000 for you, just $100 Liberian. Just go there after dialing the call. You will just have the time to put in one, that's $100, two, 200, 3, 300, 5, 500, 7, 700, or 9, 900, 10, 1,000, or 15, 1,500. And if you put 15 and you win, you have yourself 4,000, you still, yeah, something good for you on today. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. There are a lot of big news loaded on our platter today. Remember, this thing, let me just bring it to you, but I'm going to look at a lot of corruption cases into the counties. My focus today is on the local leadership of the county. What's going on? Because onto what we're seeing now, the local leadership, either they're divided, or either they are selfish, or either they are self-centered, or either their agenda is not on par with a lot of the folks in the counties. Several persons, Bapuru County officials being indicted. I'm now hearing that there's a looming protest hanging over Bon County, Kokoya. I'm going to talk about that and how much is in store that is in question. How much in question? Yeah, we'll talk about that on today. While we are talking about this issue about integrity and other issues upon this big news earlier this morning, even when Liberia was saying, Abdullahi El Kamara was set free after the indictment on him. It was a surprising thing this morning following the fresh indictment that was issued by the Criminal Court C at the Temple of Justice to re-arrest Abdullahi Kamara. And with the ongoing criminal prosecution into the alleged financial crimes. And this is why we're hearing now. This is where we are. A writ of arrest that was signed yesterday by the Clerk of Court, Knockouts, Debbie Sean, was executed by the Major Austin Sanamvula of the Monrovia City Sheriff Office, and it ordered the immediate arrest of Kamara and his appearance before the court in his August term. And this is very, very, very much a matter of importance. I want you to take a listen to this. I want you to listen to this here. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen. Just take a listen to this. Yeah, listen to this. Listen to this.
How will you do that? No, it is my fiduciary, any citizen. It is our fiduciary responsibility as a lawmaker. When I get me a friendship, I say I found a woman. I say I like the woman. The woman must be friendly. If I find out that the woman, the friendship that the kind of a friendship I need for, I'm not seeing it, I will go and just eat it free, no money.
Yes, thank you. The country is using
Atura El Kamara have been sent to prison. So this morning he was rearrested by co-sheriff and police officers and brought before Criminal Court C, residing judge Usman Fekar. So as it stands, Adura was first discharged from whatever indictment on crimes that the LDCC did indict him along with the Tema Corporation, at which time, according to he and his legal counsels, he was now serving as a head of Tema Corporations, so there were no need that the indictment cover him. So it was on the different grounds that the court saw the need during the March term. Judge Joe S. Bacont saw the need to quit him, and that matter went before Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ordered that they quit him and having certificated. So he was being declared a freed person from the entire economic sabotage and other crimes, charges leveraged against he and others from the LTA. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Kane, as you can see. So the vehicle is being parked. As you can see, he will be taking
up on and where esteemed Kamara tenure at the Tema Corporation which was central to an earlier corruption probe in this process here. But then, at the time, Kamara argued successfully and that he could not be held liable, having served ties with the company and relinquished all of the managerial control before the alleged misconduct happened upon. But this news came, oh yeah, the man was clear. But my point of raising this matter, and this issue today serves as evidence that accountability is key in our country. Accountability is key. Accountability is key. I really emphasize this matter. If we would just allow our resources going to thin air and all of that, today you're hearing that the Liberian government has said instead of 0.35 on storage of petroleum product oil and gas in our country, reducing it to 0.2. Now we hear most ability complaining. He's taking the government and government not serious all of this. So when he want to reduce, and you know that he already announced in the country that he want to be the president. He has his own party. So is he waiting that when the day he become president of the country, then he can be reduced? As I told like about the deception in our body politics. Everybody holding the idea. Nobody want to support an idea. Everybody holding the idea and waiting for the time that they will say, when I'm in the position. And let me say this, to be frank, every level has their own devil. So when you're thinking that when you get to the position at the time, you will now make things cheaper, so now you're making high, you don't accept that, and they just made the government bad. Imagine if you are importing millions of gallons of gasoline, oil, petroleum product in this country, and government was storing this thing. You make government look bad in the eyes of the people. Oh, government are carrying price up. Government carrying price up. But you're making millions of dollars profit for government and the people of this country. So government said, well, bring it down to 0.2. You see that? So why we bring it down? We're not talking about owner profit. They won't make it all right. So why we taking small money from you? You also reduce the price out there. You see that? Why would we reduce the price on you? And we don't care the little we have, but if I go sell it outside, the little we have, we can still manage this process here. Because if we don't deal with the importers, we don't deal with the dealers, wholesalers, it becomes difficult to control price. You can't just go and say, oh yeah, you reduce the price. Whereby you taking a huge profit from the people, you put a tariff on this, you put the this, and the people to complain. We need accountability in this country. So the LCC are really far doing indictment on Kamara individually, disassociating the charges from the Tama Corporation and instead focusing on direct alleged committed by him during his time as CEO there at the LTA. So you see that. So he was linking himself under this process. Let me just say analogy with this issue with what some tourists in, and they say, yeah, we all cover by immunities. We cover by immunities. The president was in the know of this. Special security issues. What's that? So he been covered by that, but there was some action taken. So a similar thing that I want to say is that why Abdullah was saying he was not, his tenure at Tama Corporation with this corruption issue, he successfully managed to put his argument up on that he could not be held liable where he served time with the company and he relinquished all managerial control before the allegation of the alleged misconduct were carried on. He cannot be held liable. But now the LCC is saying, no, we won't come out from there. We're holding you directly. We disassociate Tama from this whole charge. We're holding you allegedly for the act committed during your time as CEO here. And this is where we are today. And before I go to what I want to talk about, this news is actually is a disturbing one. Liberians woke up again with this resignation, and some are saying resignation after suspension. It's so hilarious. The assistant minister Charisma Pelham read the Liberian assistant minister for international organization has tendered in her resignation yesterday. But it's so sticky in this thing here that I want to draw this from national scene that are carrying to local government and see what's going on, that there should be more investigation to our local structure in this country. This thing here about this whole winning of the Liberia on the United Nations Security Council, a non-permanent member came up. We're hearing a cycle, reportedly, that this assistant minister is now trying to make things like she claiming the glory, not the ministry glory. And she and the minister is not going on par with issues. There are a lot of questions in that. So the minister addressed all deputy ministers and she stated that Assistant Minister Pelham Red has been suspended by the Executive Marshal on the 3rd of September. And her role as Assistant Minister, the Bureau of International Organizations. Then there was a memo on the 4th of September again indicating that one Daniel several officers in charge that work closely with Ibrahim Yan, the Deputy Minister for International Cooperation, Economic Integration in process upon. Now, we're now hearing gross insubordination. We're now hearing that reportedly that this suspension came as a result of behavior inconsistent with diplomatic culture at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and for gross insubordination. Now again, folks are questioning what I'm going to talk about. This matter reached up to the president. When it reached to the president said he cannot accept it because what we're reading on reportedly here in the Foreign Minister Sarah Bensler said all of the efforts have been administrating, not your individual thing. But then with this, when this thing came up, there was a letter written to the minister that was so much derogatory, reportedly. So the minister said, no, I can't accept this and I respect. And then he informed the president and said, hey, Mr. President, and the president was confused from all readings or things that are on. Mr. President, if you allow this assistant minister to bring this in a gross insubordination year, with this, I don't think I can be here. I don't think I can be in such a space. Either she leave, I stay, or she stay, I leave. My people, what's going on? What is really going on? In that light, oh look, boom, something happened. While suspension was on, we're now hearing that the assistant minister have tendered in her resignation. And the executive marshal has confirmed that the president had accepted her resignation. Liberia will go in there. What is inside? Is there another resignation again that leaves without accountability and an accusation upon it? We are concerned. Liberians are concerned. Where are these misconducts coming from? Now, the tendency of these things happening at the level of national government and they cannot be handled brings to bed a lot of questions. While we are seeing these things going on, tit for tat in the ministries and agencies and all that, which we don't accept. We don't accept. In Liberia must rise. We must rise up to the field that all Liberia can be liberated upon the system upon. Why does this happen in government fighting to make things happen on the other side? Several persons in Bible County again for the LCC. You know, what I term as some sort of in the Liberian way overlooking. A lot of the folks have overlooked the LCC. Even at some point in time, you will hear people saying they get gossip in LCC. They get it one for sure because whistleblower thing, protection of that's what we're calling for. It's always have always been in these cases always time of suspicion. Now, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission on yesterday now came up with a major breakthrough in the prosecution corruption in Babolu County. The 16th Judicial Circuit Court returned a true bill of all counts on indictment against several Babolu County officials and private vendors that was involved in the Yellow Machine scandal. Now I'm asking this question: what is happening to the local level? If we are saying the local government should work, what is happening? If the local government should get the power, what is happening? Because we're seeing that government giving power to the local government, and we're seeing that the authority is dangling, is shifting. We see favoritism. we hear it out of corruption, mismanagement. Now, those involved in the county, one of the biggest in the county, the superintendent of Buffalo County, Sam K. Zina, he's been held as center of this thinking. How did they really manage this process? Anthony Yoko, the former fiscal superintendent, and Robert Bender, former chairperson of Buffalo Project Management Committee, the PMC. The court writ of arrest have already been issued and served on the defendants. As I speak to you now, since this, with all information that the court have issued already, the writ of arrest has been issued and has served the defendant, we expect now that he should be arrested by now on issue of accountability. This issue of a yellow machine thing, there are several allegations of corruptions, abuse of resources linked to the procurement and the management of the heavy-duty equipment intended for the county. And this is deceptive. If these things are intended for the county, why then are we hearing this? Because mind you, they say before was channeled through the lawmakers, was channeled through the offices, public works or PBCC, they will have to procure, and sometimes you hear that the county will say, we have not received it. We never receive it. Oh, government said they were buying yellow machine for us. We never receive it. Government said they were sending yellow machine. We never receive it. Now, this power has been turned over to local authorities. Like, it's good that we see this thing, because every time, if we don't look at the meat of this process, what we do is that we tend to blame government. We tend to look at government as being the bad one, the buku man. Oh, government don't care. Government just stealing. And government doing this. Whereas, government is now relinquishing a lot of powers given to the local authority. Okay, it will buy a yellow machine, let me get the money. You'll buy your procure yellow machine. If we want to build, if government is intending to build any structure, let me turn it over to your design. Maybe government will say, okay, internet that they'll build a town hall. But then the local structure said, no, we want town hall here. We got a major bridge that right by us here, and just in the not too long in the distant future will collapse. So what we want to do is that we want to build that bridge. So the county now say, okay, government, you thought that we would do this, right? But we're telling you this is what we want. Priority. So that the county, once they agreed, they go on the process. And since the road thing has been a major process, government said the yellow machine will be to ease tensions in the county. So according to the indictment in 2023, Buffalo County, the council approved $400,000 from the county social development fund for the purchase of one bulldozer, excavator, and a motor grader. The machine was supposed to be a brand new machine, but according to the investigation, the City Line Incorporated, that was the only bidder, instead deliver a refurbished and substandard equipment. And you know, if you say you want brand new thing, the people will not bring substandard something, refurbish something to you, and you accept it. You know that. Yeah. They give you money to buy one Maki Sa or one brand new coat suit. It should be brand new. They buy in the store. Then you go water Sa or whatsoever in the businesses, Douala or Red Light, to the used clothes areas. Then you tow one coat, where's the other one clean and one clean. Then you bring it. The officer, the authority will say, no, the money we put in for, we have to buy a brand new thing. It should be brand new, not be something refurbished or something substandard. But they accepted this. So it's predicated upon this, that NDCC have said now, the superintendent, the CEO, they conspired to cancel the defect of the machine while facilitating the illegal clearance of 2 additional loader digger in the county name to evade taxes. So prosecutor revealed that these 3 separate payments totaling to 80,750,000 was made to the City Line Incorporated. But then the equipment, the equipment I'm talking about arrived late, and were poor in quality, and it provided no real value for the money. So now they brought something different. He flipped the prides in this process. So the superintendent has been accused of receiving $6,400 from the vendor as a clearance fee to the loader digger, which this money was never authorized as part of the county approval project. The charge against the superintendent range from economic sabotage, theft of property, misuse of public fund, tax evasion, criminal conspiracy, violation of prosecution, and public financial laws. So LCC now has placed another indictment. Why today we're hearing that Mr. Abdullahi Kamara is gone, been arrested this morning, according to reportedly, that they have already issued the arrest for the people and they have already received their copy. So maybe not too long before I leave this program, we'll hear that the superintendent is arrested, the former fiscal person is arrested, and the folks who are involved, they are all arrested. So now this is where we are. Why are we faced with these situations? Why? Why are we faced with these situations? Then if you look again in Bone County, these are the local leaders. In Bone County again, there are no issues there. 7 persons are held for mismanagement, and what we're hearing now that in the coming days or hours, there may just be a protest into the Kokoya district. Why are because they complain too much. The bureaucracy, centralized government are trying to decentralize activities. We're hearing something different from that. What's going on? Now there's a serious heated dispute between the people of Kokoya and Topabli and the Boson Administrative District, with local leaders of the district, about a distribution of some 10,000 renter fund. What's happening in this country? 3 officials of the county again, this is Bone County I'm talking about. 3 officials, they have been accused of unilaterally distributing the money without prior agreement. One, Isaac Freeman, he is a relieving commissioner. One, Roosevelt Yuri Kekula, development officer, and one, Hilary Gayezon, financial officer. And this money was generated from the district administrative compound in Botota, where the WBHO construction company hired the accelerometer, was hired by the accelerometer rather, and Liberia to carry some major work on the railroad from Buchanan to Yucaipa. In this agreement, which was between the district leadership and the company, 6 representatives were mentioned from the district and 2 from the company as signatories upon. Those who signed on behalf of the district, they were there. They are Peter and Paliwon, who is the former IT sanitary superintendent of Kokoya district. Isaac Freeman, the current relieving district commissioner, Kokoya district. Mary Koina, the former district commissioner of Kokoya district. Others are Moses Keller, the former district commissioner of Tobabli Administrative District. Dennis P. Chappie, the former district commissioner, Boson District, Boson Administrative District. Abota M. Dolo, the liaison officer of Accelerometer Bone chapter. So all these people were the ones who signed this entire document here. And the company was represented by one Jonah Fart, the manager, and Marius Bernard was a member. In the agreement, they said that the both parties were agreed that the 3-apartment container, 6 rooms, a laundry, a covered storage area, a parking lot rather, and a generator room to be leased to the company for 6 months for the amount of $1,500 per month. Is this not money business can support things in this country? $1,500 per month. The agreement says that 30 employees of the company will reside in the facility for the period that they will be renting for. And there was this agreement that it will possibly be extended with on. So before coming to the force of the agreement, local leaders of the 3 administrative district, they also signed a resolution that was back in 2023, December 14. And they found out that the possibility of raising funds to renovate and improve facilities within the county. And that's what the local government calls for, that those of the county come together and decide when this kind of thing happened, what they will do with this kind of funding. So after they went through this whole process here, now there's trouble. And what is more important about this, we're hearing now that most of the people now are former leaders and current leaders of the county. They are the one held at the center of this thing here. So certain persons were now called or informed about this money business, and others were left out. Now it has brought a lot of issues into the county here. Botota, Tobabli, the young people, the old people, they are now disappointed into the leadership, because after all the decisions they have made, money cannot, like what they get called by usually say, ball bound play change. Money have entered hands, things tend to be on the other hand going on. If we will stop this corruption, where they will start from? If Liberians are saying those at the level of the leadership of the central government, they were corrupt, they were making it so difficult for the county. Now powers are now being shifted up onto the local government, and they can be able to decide the county, superintendent, the council of the county, the paramount chiefs, clan chiefs, and all these people. Then what is happening? What is now going on? So the money came about. One, Isaac Freeman, the relieving commissioner, Roosevelt Ure, the development officer, Hilary Gayson, the financial officer. They signed for $170 as a share for the young people of the Tobabli administrative district. Did they receive the money? Question. You see? Were those people who signed for the money were the ones who signed for the money? Question. The young people too are asking there, why are we not involved? You see? So the young people now, they are now threatening to stage a protest at the local leadership office or the company yard if their concerns are not met in the county. The time they agreed to pay for on this process, they have accused officials, and it is confirmed that $10,000 from the company as a rental for the compound have been paid for 6 months. Where is the money? How is this process? Nobody knows. And they said the money was transferred to the district account. The money now, after the money was transferred, a little over $100 will be deducted from the money as tax. Now the total money now they're saying now is $9,000 was taken to the district for distribution. What's happening? Liberians, what is happening? Now the Lord district saying they will not receive $920. What's happening? What's happening? Is it that our local leaders have made themselves so much overpowerful? Is it that? Is it that our local leaders have now taken the power because they normally say they agree on things, but money they become different? The other boy in Baburu County, the whole in there. The other people in Bond County, you hear Nimba County again. The senator that replaced the late Senator Prince Johnson is now saying that ordered the superintendent. The man who replaced him also saying that ordered the men out in the district. Where are we? Then you look in Encyclopedia, there's this accusation reportedly about this excessive power being used by the superintendent, giving instructions to take properties, land for a project, and then land also bearing the ownership of the marketing association there. Where are we going with this? We were told that the establishment of this local government was to have a very serious consultation, and the authorities agreed. But now we get a report that some people will lead the other people, as well as money will come inside. The folks will lead the person behind. If you listen to Baburu County now, they are alleging that with the folks, they are now alleging that some of the hierarchy, the caucuses of the county, they are the ones now supporting specific individuals in the county. Senator Boto can't be mentioned. Fingers pointed allegedly to the likes of Amara Akune. Now we see now the trouble now, the superintendent and other people, those who were there in the position, who have left the position, where they fall into. And I don't know why or how, it's just how they ran the county. Because all I see, you will hear former acting sanitary superintendent. You're not in a position again. But you still have a very deep say. Instead that you turn the post, okay, you know what, gentlemen, I will already hear the project we're on, and I'm leaving. I don't want to leave it. So what I do now, I will tell you the secret. Because if things would have really worked out for all, we would have been the one to eat the money here. So send your account now, I will share it. And you who in a position proper as a mumu, you sit there and listen to the man who leave in the position telling you that let's eat the money, let's do this thing, and you listen to him. Yeah. You will hear, for example, the ministry or agency. Other people who are there with the minister or the director, they will come and say, Chief, they think how to do y'all. I'll be eating y'all. We've been here, so we'll teach you the way, we'll show you the way. And you now, as a mumu, you follow them. So you see the problem now. So tomorrow now, when you hear now reportedly that the young people have now vandalized the compound, properties being damaged, it is just by the actions of these leaders in the county. You see how our people are? You see how they're looking? You see? So you see some of the protests that go on, it can be from genuine cause. Because of the leaders in the county. They are so selfish and so greedy. You see that? I go to a position and the man who leave it telling me, say, my man, look, you're in the position, leave it with me. Leave it with me. And this is how you hear most ministry and agencies, ministers go there, they say, I never knew that how I followed the old system, that how they were doing it, how Messiah continue with it. You go to USF, if they were following problem, USF forcing the same pay too with them. And what about the system thinking that bringing to the system is to change things? But you go there, you do the same thing these people doing here. Like, bro, where we are this morning? You see? I'm not saying these people who have been indicted, they are guilty. The likes of the superintendent of Baburu County and the other officials, I'm not saying they are guilty. They've been accused. You see, for Baburu County, the 16th Circuit Judicial Circuit Court, the presiding judge, who was presided by Judge Zubalaha Kiziku, Zubalaha Kiziku, has ordered the sheriff of Baburo County to arrest Superintendent Zina and bring him before the court to face trial. And if he's convicted, the defendant will face lengthy prison terms and be required to restitute the fund to the government. You who just came in the position to change things and say rescue, rescue, you just came there. The people were crying from the past regime, past regime. You came there to rescue things. You come there now, you fall in the same pit. Now you're hearing what this is. If you are guilty, face lengthy prison terms and be required to restitute fund to the government. You see what we are today? You see? The other one on the other side, small money business, they're fighting over here. Small money business. Small money. Small money business. They're now fighting. And the action we hear leading some of the destructions in the county. There will be even more than the money they're fighting over. Hey, Liberia. There's money business here. And these have been the reasons why for county developing difficult. Oh my God. I'll take a break here. And when I come back, we'll travel outside Liberia. And from there, we'll go to the lands. Liberia, these things, this is the reason why it's important that this reflect that we must have a change in these processes. It is important for the country because with this attitude, Liberia cannot develop. Let these people face the law. And on the other hand, imagine Charisma Pella had resigned. Will Pojabi resigning and nothing being done? Will Pojabi accused and nothing being done? It's out there for you. Let's take this break. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening.
Introducing Marie Sanitary Pad, the ultimate solution for every woman comfort and confidence during that time of the month. With Marie, every moment becomes effortless and worry-free. Ladies, we understand the importance of feeling comfortable and secure during your period. That's why Marie Sanitary Pad are designed with your needs in mind. Our ultra-soft, breathable materials provide all-day comfort so you can move with ease and confidence. Marie pads are equipped with advanced leakage protection, keeping you dry and fresh throughout your busy day. Say goodbye to leaks and hello to peace of mind. Super soft and provide unparalleled comfort for sensitive skin.
I have tried so many brands, but nothing compares to Marie. It's like they were made just for me. I feel secure and comfortable no matter what I'm doing.
Experience the difference with Marie's sanitary pads. Available at all drugstores, pharmacies, stores, and Fuller shops. For wholesale, visit Lucky Pharmacy and Redemption Pharmacy. Call 2929 for free information. Try them today and discover what true comfort feels like. Marie, the latest choice.
The issue, this is a very, very, very critical issue. You listen, it says social corporate funds, social development. The money that is meant to be provided by ArcelorMittal as a look exclusively for Nima County. Nima people should be able to meet and discuss what will be done with the money. Because that mountain will be depleted. Number one, Nima people should sit together and discuss that, oh Lord, we need to acquire so many acres. You don't eat this one, depending on the situation. To reduce the burden in terms of housing facility. You build real estates. People who work in Ganta, people that are signing Sanipode, people that are in Loguatu, when the real estates are built with the county social fund, they will be paying rent to the county. And the
799 *11 hands at the numbers and the code there to dial and be part of the Entertainment by Radio Cool Cash giveaway. *799 *11 hash *799 *11 hash is the code you can dial to be a part of this, and $100 Liberian to play and 4,000 up for grabs to be won. Let me say thanks to all of you on today. It's important that it's important that you be a part of the process, and you just be that lucky winner there to win 4,000 Liberian dollars. 4,000 Liberian dollars. Many thanks all of you following us live on our page. We say welcome to you and welcome. We say thank you for following us on to this edition of the program. Star 799 star 11 hash. Many thanks to all of you watching us. Star 799 star 11 hash is just the code that you can dial to be a part. We'll travel to 3 countries today to bring you development from Africa and other parts of the world. Let's now travel to Mali as Mali launches airstrikes in response to militant imposed fuel blockade upon. In Mali today, the military has launched airstrike into the Gold-rich Kids region after Al-Qaeda-linked militants moved to block fuel imports into the capital Bamako. The group Jama'at Nusrat al-Islam Wal Muslimin, or the GMIM, announced a blockade last week, also restricting movement into the towns of Kids and the Naoura area in the Senegalese and Mauritanian border upon. Since then, militants have stopped 4 tanks and escalating attacks on business including cement factories, sugar plants, and gold mines operated by the global firms like the Barracks and the B2 Gold. The Malian army confirmed airstrikes and hostages rescued into Dima and the Naoura, but the pressure is mounting. Transport companies are halting operations and roads are blocked across key trade routes. According to the report, and they said the JMIM is trying to recycle urban centers and stabilize Mali's transitional government by strangulating supply lines and stringing civilian arrests. But on that, you go there and check it out to get a full detail come out there for you. Today, the U.S. President Trump to skip the G20 summit in Johannesburg. When world leaders meet at the G20 summit in Johannesburg in Monrovia, that is in November rather, U.S. President Donald Trump won't be there. He says he's skipping the event and sending his Vice President DJ Pence in his place. Trump has been in a tense relationship with South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa, who will host the event. The two men clashing during the White House meeting earlier this year, with Trump's repeating unfounded allegations that white farmers in South Africa are victims of genocide. Ramaphosa government has firmly denied that violence affecting the farmers that is racially motivated, along with suspending financial aid and imposing 30% tariff on South Africa export to the United States. Trump has denounced the country's stance on the Islam-Hamas conflict. In March, South African Ambassador Ibrahim Ramso was expelled by the U.S. for his criticism of Trump. The African Trade Union Solidarity, which was criticized by Ramaphosa over the recent visit to Washington, has announced new plans to visit the U.S. in September to meet the Department of State and other parties to discuss abolishing racial redress law, re-establishing diplomatic ties, and creating a fair trade agreement between the two countries. But on that, you go there and check it out to get a full detail coming out there for you today. And let's travel over, get out of there. Israel Prime Minister urges Palestinians to evacuate ahead of Gaza city offensive upon. Let's travel there to Gaza. The Israeli military 4 evacuations of Gaza cities on Tuesday. Ahead of And let's travel to where hundreds of thousands of people struggled under conditions of famine. The announcement was made first, warning for a full evacuation of the city in the current round of fighting. Previously, the military has warned specific sections of Gaza City to evacuate ahead of the concentrated operations or strike. Associated Press reported that they saw more cars and trucks than previous days passing from north to south Gaza on Tuesday, laden with supplies and people, but no widespread evacuation process. According to a report, the defense minister Israeli Katz on Tuesday said Israel has demolished 30 high-rise buildings in Gaza, which it accused Hamas of using for military infrastructures. The Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday yesterday said that Israel destroyed at least 50 terror towers that he said are used by Hamas. It was unclear if the towers Katz referred to are in addition to these announced by Netanyahu, who said that the demolition of the high-rise only the beginning of a intensive operation, the ground incursion of our forces. More on that, you go there and check it out to get a full detail coming out there for you. Let's go to the line 0775 919 919 here in Liberia. Why are these issues of authority being formed in this power to local government has been tit for tat now? Why? Earlier this morning, the LCC refiled a writ of arrest for Abdullah Kamara, the former CEO of Tama Corporation, in the alleged case. This time around, they said they are not dealing with him as a combined Tama former CEO, but now they're dealing with him as now the head of the LTA when he served there at the time. Not the corporation, but out of the position, because he said he cannot be held liable. But now he said you have to be held liable for this process. Also, too, Liberia woke up to the news that folks from Bapuru County, officials of Bapuru County, has been up for arrest. The 16th Secretary Judicial Court, presided over by Judge Zubalaha Kaziku, has ordered the sheriff to arrest the superintendent and bring him before the court and others convicted. And say if he is guilty, if the defendant is found guilty, lengthy prison terms and will be required to restitute money. Now in Bone County, there's this report of an imminent protest where the young people are saying they vote have no confidence in the authority. Monies for the county have been distributed unilaterally by some folks without the knowledge of the majority, and now they are saying what was distributed is unacceptable. A plain protest is up there. Where are we going with this process? Where are we going? 0775 919 919 0880 919 919 are the numbers to be a part. We value your comments. They are the building block to our modern emerging democracy. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I will talk to my first caller on the line this afternoon. What do you make of the development? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dr. You're welcome.
Well, let me start by giving position of the foreign ministry. I think the regulation of foreign affairs is one ministry that is very cardinal because they are there to come against government foreign policy in and outside the period. But looking at the kind of internal struggle or internal fight within the ministry, I don't think it is something that we need as a nation or as a people. Because the Prime Minister is there to help government. So, I think it is done.
Yeah, but the minister says she cannot accept gross insubordination. She cannot accept disrespect. So because of that, she informed the president after the assistant minister was being under suspension. The executive marshal already accepted her resignation and she had resigned from the post. Said if she doesn't resign, the foreign minister said she will go. Is the president willing to lose the foreign minister and take the assistant minister? Which one? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Ambassador now.
Yeah, Luther Lumenisaki.
All right, thank you for the show this afternoon. I'm here, Luther Lumenisaki, very Francisco State, most of the country. Ambassador now, under the regime of President Jordan Mambaka, I believe there have been no more punished in jail for 5 to 6 to 7 years because their government is the leaders government. They call it only social way.
But Luther, why would you say that? You hearing that folks have been arrested? Why would you say if the government was lenient, then folks can be arrested, sent to jail? Right now, as I speak to you, Abdullah Kamara is at the South Beach. He's taken at South Beach currently.
But now, arresting somebody to resident, that's not the point, but if it's not a fast track or fast track for the cases who so can see for way by doing the routine. If we not do that, what happened?
Yeah, but Luther, I may agree with you, Luther. I may agree with you too, but let it be recognized that there are laws. And if the laws provide that this person that was carried to prison, there are laws that provision they should be set free with bonds, bills, and other issues. Okay, thank you. You said we should have a fast track court that will fast track these cases upon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. When you're not ready, don't call on this line, please. Go behind your house, you stand ready to the swamp and do what you want to do there. Don't come on this line. If you can't stand the heat, don't get in the kitchen. Before you call, put your thoughts together. Let me talk to you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
This is Mr. Rich from England. The superintendent is the grand jury of the president in the county. I think we all should take note that we should go through the chain of regulation. The Minister of Internal Affairs should bring in the law before the judiciary system. I think upon the superintendent, and not from the complaint of the citizens, the minister to be able to get access to all of the things, suspension, and be forwarded to court for any irregularity.
But they are being forwarded to court. The Judicial Circuit Code 16, Judicial Circuit already said serve a written arrest for them to be arrested.
This is what I'm saying. It with the consent of the Minister of Internal Affairs. Because the superintendent serves as a grand jury of the president. Hello?
That you are saying that the Minister of Internal Affairs should be involved?
The Minister of Internal Affairs should be involved.
Okay.
The Minister, he's the head of the Internal Affairs Ministry. He's oversight all superintendents. Let's watch the president. You can't just get a superintendent inside of superintendent with all the internal family. It's an insult to the country leadership from my own analysis.
So you also allude to the fact that if there's corruption in the county, the Internal Affairs Ministry is also in the know of the corruption.
Is that right?
Okay, let me talk to another caller here. If there's a corruption in the county, are you saying that the Internal Affairs Ministry is also, the minister is also in the know of the corruption in the county? Because the LSCC has responsibility. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Tommy Diploma and I'm calling from Red Light. Good afternoon. Hello, now I think something is going on good. Well, if the one that happening today or happening yesterday, the issue of corruption have been made much more. Because those ignorant any kind of hire or going to jail. So the state government is keen to fight corruption. It will take some time, but no people are learning lesson. And I want the government to say, continue doing it. No big need. Whosoever is involved in corruption, let them go to the court. If it requires going to jail, let them go to jail. And from there, the money the government has brought people, let them try to pay the money back to us. We need development in this country. People can be taking our money, using it, only because they want to develop themselves and the country is suffering. That is not good for us.
Okay.
So I want to take bravo to this government for fighting corruption.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
I agree. I agree that Mr. Reed is saying that the internal affairs should be in the know. But this case has not been just a case that is around here, or the first time it just came out straight to the court, and the court is saying, no, the LSCC has been involved with this matter. Good afternoon. You're welcome.
I mean, I appreciate it. You know, I had one day, January died, the superintendent, you might either consult with the region, so I can go. I think they will go back to read.
But even at that, my brother, they talk about yellow machine procuring the account. It is written aware that they were also procure yellow machine if they are default. Who that's written now? The Internal Affairs Minister will investigate. The LSCC is there.
So this is where I think people are basing on the map now. Like Kumale is not in the government, Bago the government is fighting corruption. And let the color move really clear that there's a need for a fast-track code. Okay. This idea of the establishment of fast-track code, the government intention in the fight against corruption. Good. That the last order establish or give constitutional power to the LSCC. But in my mind, like I always told you that it's not enough powerful. We want to see the fight against corruption, be guaranteed by the establishment of a special code. This code will be there exclusively to trial cases that will involve government. That is I'm going to happen is that it's going to this corruption. Look, it is on the alarm of corruption is too much. That's the reason why you're hearing that the person going to court, the person going to jail. Because the alarm is too much. Look at what's happening right now at the finance ministry on the audit report. So it's too alarming. And we want this government that actually campaign, right? Promising that people are going to fight corruption. So we also need a hammer. Let it be always show that the issue of corruption is working out like this. Our country deserves better. But all find ourselves as a country and people. Every day you look around you, go around the community, see people life. Go into see some community, all of you. See how people are just barely surviving. Now you hear about nothing of that. Millions are being taken away by individuals.
Yeah.
So, and the way forward is the establishment of a court and be special land.
Okay, Ishmael. Thank you. And this matter, you remember back in March, yesterday before Mr. Reeves, back in March, the LSCC embarked on several investigative processes. And they said to you, several governments were being held for corruption allegations on them. And that was way back as March. And then the LSCC indicted, the indictment alleges as far back as 2023, not just this year, 2025, as far back as 2023, where the Bakuru Caucus, that is the council, approved more than 400,000 budget bulldozer excavators. So you see this case not just today being on. Before they could sit there and indict these people, it was ever since 2023. This is 2025. Now they have now secured an indictment for these people here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ambassador, and I'm very sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Well, I'm Abraham Daza calling from DCK. I want this fellow Reed to actually answer the question he posed to him. So when there is corruption, the Minister is still effect in the know of here, let Reed come and answer the question.
Okay.
One thing I want to say about this guy, Musa Benedict issue, that will draw my attention. You see, the guy again, they're professor, they want to have the people, the suffering master, you that came on with CMC. Tell them for change. They to say that they should sell petroleum product to all expensive, then he gotta be killing. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you are talking this one. Right now, the reason why you consider for us to keep this moment is the one is not tracking the Quran is just you get also an allegation of another person, the person the person will suspect had it. At the end of the day, we get allegation and we get any that they had a case go. You have no case for cases. You have a lot of cases. Someone told you, what the kind of cases they making?
But does that mean that the cases have come to a conclusion? The cases are on. Number one, let me tell you something. If there are not sufficient evidence gathered on somebody, they cannot prosecute the person. So it takes time. But when you say precedent, evidence are gathered. This is my point I'm making to you, right? It doesn't mean that the person is accused, I mean they're guilty. The person has to go and prove their day. If the evidence are not sufficient, cases are dropped. You see, that's the point. They say, now the job of judge say you roll. Then they start taking state, knocking, oh, that's our code in government issue. If the LCDC issues that you go to court, you exonerate yourself. Evidence must be provided. You see, it is one thing. The only thing I agree is that Liberian need, the one Luther said earlier on, that we need a fast track court, a specialized court that will have a specific duty just to handle these kind of matters. We'll be all right. Let me take my final call here. Good afternoon. Because the court are overwhelmed with cases. Some post bucket, some post bucket rapport too. They can say go to court. Go ahead, George Mobile.
Thank you so much for the topic, Nathaniel. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Nathaniel.
Okay, thank you. I gotta go. I got to go. Time. Let me say welcome to all of you. Thanks for your comments, your commendations, your opinion on the issue discussed. Liberia must get better, and we encourage accountability and transparency in our body politics. But don't forget, the geometry of the whole must be kept high on the agenda because it involves the majority, and those that come with equity must come with clean hands. Until tomorrow, I am Nathaniel. I'm here today with Sakandu on this spectacular edition of the People's Program. Be with me tomorrow on the May Week edition of the People's Program, The Heat.
The fact that we fail is because we're holding ourselves to high standards. The president holding all of us to high standards. So, by and large, we could go on many other indicators